children working gear and hopped it off from the castle in Jeremiah Dixon. I am a Geordie boy. A glass of wine with you, sir, and the ladies I'll enjoy. All Durham and Northumberland is measured up by my own hand. It was my fate from birth to make my mark upon the earth. Calls me Charlie Mason, stargazer am I. It seems that I was born to chart the evening sky. They'd cut me out for bacon bread. I had other dreams instead. Spaker's boy from the West Country, journal society. We are sailing to Philadelphia, a world away from the coaly tide. Sailing to Philadelphia to draw the line. Mason, Dixon wine. Good surveyor, Dixon. I swear you make me mad. The West is gonna kill us both, you gullible Geordie lad. You talk of liberty. How can America be free? A Geordie and a baker's boy, the forest of the Iroquois. Well, now hold your head up, Mason. It's America lies there. The morning tide has raised the capes, Delaware. Come up and feel the sun. A new morning has begun. Another day will make it clear why your star should guide us here. Sailing to Philadelphia, a world away from the coaly tide. Sailing to Philadelphia to draw the line. The Mason, Dixon, Mason, Dixon. up the speed limit, scaring up pedestrians of all of them, crossing up a progress drive and on the ground, even just enough room to hide. Sunday driver never took a test. Oh yeah, once upon a time in the West. And it's no use saying that you don't know nothing. It's not gonna get you if you don't do so. Sitting on a fence, that's a dangerous call. Get bullet from the peacekeeping force. Even the hero gets a bullet in the jail. Once upon a time in the West. struck Romeo, he's got a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. He finds a street light, steps out of the shade, he says something like, you and me, babe, how about it? Juliet says, hey, it's Romeo. Nearly give me a heart attack. He's underneath the window, she's singing, hey, Eli, my boyfriend's gone. You shouldn't come around here singing up at people like that. Anyway, what you gonna do about it? Juliet, the dice was loaded from the start, and I bet you exploded in my heart. Not forget the blues song. When you gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong? We came up on different streets, both were streets of shame, both dirty, yeah, both mean. Yes, and the dream was just the same. I dreamed your dream for you, so now your dream is real. How can you look at me as if I'm just another one of your deals? When you can fall for chains of silver, you can fall for chains of gold, fall for pretty stranger, and the promises they hold. You promised me everything, yeah, you promised me thick and thin. Now you just say you love me again. No, I used to have a scene with him. Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. Love you like the stars above, I love you, baby, till I die. And there's a place for us. You know the movie song. When you gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong? I can't do the talks like the talks on TV. I can't do a love song like the way it's meant to be. Can't do everything, but I'll do anything for you. And I can't do anything except be in love with you. And all I do is miss you, the way we used to be. All I do is keep the beat, rock and roll company. Oh, and all I do is kiss you through the bars of a rhyme. Julie, I do the stars with you, baby, anytime. Well, Julie, we made love, you used to cry. Love you like the stars above. Oh, I love you, baby, till I die. And there's a place for us. You know the movie song. When you only realize it was just that the time was wrong. Let everybody alone with a love song that he made. He finds that street light, he steps out of the shade. He says something like, you and me, babe, how about it?
Quite possibly. Ah. All right. Okay. All right, girls, shall we try this? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The elbow, just telling you before we go, only telling you, just so you know. You never got the elbow, I slung it in, had it up to here, so I just pulled the pin, went and had a beer. Used to love a bit of folding, just for getting by for what of cash. Now that's out of date, and so am I. There's pie and mash. Excuse me, excuse me. Have you got my roll? Took us bowling. What was that about? I thought, what a joke. I just went out and had a smoke. And the whitewater rafting, just some know-it-all with the new regime there to show us all how to build a team. He says, so what do you think we're doing? I said, don't ask me, I've no idea. They all laughed at that. That was pretty funny, actually. Excuse me, excuse me. Have you got my roll, my roll, my bacon roll? Have you got my roll, my roll, my bacon roll? I could order you a toasty just like that one there, or the same in plain white bread. When you're dealing with a toasty, what do you prefer? Brown. Got the elbow, just telling you before you go, only telling you, just so you know.
So I wrote a song about it. It's a Matchstick Man. All right, Tom?
So there he was then, Penzance to play, Christmas Eve in a nowhere band. Now early morning, Christmas Day, he's hitching home to Jordanland. Last night the snow came just by luck. Then who the hell do you think you are, climbing up into that truck with your old bag and your guitar? And you would be vagabond, no one invited you, you know. Matchstick Man, up in the dawn, you've got 500 miles to go. The driver now must drop off his load. The snow still lays thick on the ground. It leaves him on the high crossroads where he can see 4 miles around. The sun is shining, sky is blue, and everything is white and bare. Not a car comes into view, there's nothing moving anywhere. And you would be vagabond, no one invited you, Matchstick Man, you spec upon these vast and sodden plains of snow. Since Moscow burned, the These Cossacks tear us piece by piece. Our dead are strewn 100 leagues. Though death be us a reapers, and our grand army is dressed in rags, frozen, starving beggar band. Like rats we steal each other's scraps, fall to fighting hand to hand. Save my soul from evil, Lord, and heal this soldier's heart. I'll trust in thee to keep me, Lord, I'm done with Bonaparte. What dreams he made for us to dream. Spanish skies, Egyptian sand. Oh, the world was ours, we marched upon our little corporal's command. And I lost an eye, yet I still live. Saber Celeste yet gives me pain. My one true love awaits me still, flower of the Aquitaine. Save my soul from evil, Lord, and heal this soldier's heart. I'll trust in thee to keep me, Lord, I'm done with Bonaparte. I pray for her who prays for me. Safe return to Babel, France. We prayed these wars would end all war. War we know is no man. I pray our child will never see the little corporal again. Point toward a foreign shore, captivate the hearts of men. Save my soul from evil, Lord, and heal the soldier's heart. I'll trust in thee to keep me, Lord, I'm done with Bonaparte. your troubles, I'll listen for free. The regulars trust me. It seems you can come and see Uncle to get through the week. Leave your pledges with me to redeem. Some folks sell their body for 10 bob a gold. Politicians go pawning your soul. It doesn't make me look too bad, don't you know? Me, with my heart full of holes. All my yesterday's broken, a watch with no face, all battered and old, bits of the movement all over the place, and a heart full of holes, a heart full of holes, a heart full of holes. Knuckles and banjos are out on the town. At the knees up in Teddy Boy's row, and the gold block and tackle tells the time upside down. This rock and roll, well, I don't know. Dead people's wedding gifts walk out the door. A clarinet squeals to be free. Accordions hop from the shelves to the floor, start playing their polkas to me. There's a ringing bells and a dunderhead's curves, fingers are pointing at you. Then you take work in hell and be glad it's not work. And you get to the back of the queue. Handcuffs and hunting knives clang on the bars, and air pistols shoot out the lights of a whole wailing wall of electric guitar could shatter the windows down late tonight. Well, if one of us dies, love, I think I'll retire. See you boys and our beautiful girls. Garden of Eden, no gates or barbed wire. Who knows? Baby gates made of pearl. Well, if we go to heaven, and some say we don't, but if there's a reckoning day, please God, I'll see you. Maybe I won't. I've a bag packed to go either way. Redeeming your pledge, dear, I'll keep it for you. It's not gonna go anywhere but your soul. That's not what I do. There's not a lot I can do there. I remember the officers watching my hand. Repair it or die, I was told. It's a wonder to me, I still don't understand why I ever survived to be old with a heart full of hope. Heart full of hope. bargains have been struck between the satin bowls and their bells. Prehistoric garbage trucks got the city to themselves. Echoes and roars, dinosaurs, they all doing the monster mash. The taxis and the whore are only take calls for cash. I don't know how it happened, it all took place so quick. And all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. My door was standing open. Security was laid back and relaxed. And only my heart got it broken. You must have had a pass key made out of wax. Well, it was rubbery insulin. And I played the blues in 12 bars down in Lover's Lane. I never did have the intelligence to use the 12 keys hanging off of my chain. Don't know how it happened, it all took place so quick. And all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. Last call, alcohol. Last recall has been here and gone. The landlord, he finally paid us all. The jazz men have put away their homes. And I'm standing outside of this wonderland, bereaved and marooned. Finally come to understand, bottles empty, man, there's nothing left. How it happened, oh, it all to sign the checks. Wasn't difficult to do. I couldn't stay, face the music. So many reasons why I won't be sending postcards. Paraguay, from Paraguay. I robbed a bank full of dinero. Wasn't a big mountain of dough. So it was goodbye company. Cheerio. I couldn't stay, face the music. So many reasons why I won't be sending postcards. From Paraguay, Paraguay. I never meant to be a cheater. There was blood on the wall. You see, I had to steal from Peter, pay what I owed to Paul. Could stay and face the music. So many reasons why I won't be sending postcards. Paraguay, Paraguay. On Silvertown Way, the cranes stand high. White and grey against the still of the sky. I won't quit and lay down, no reaction has died. They're watching a new game in town on the Black Wall side. Poisonous dreams, vision appear. You circle of grains, a new reason to be here. Big silver dome rising up into the dome of the church and the homes where all the silver is gone, gone, gone. If I had a bucket of gold, what would I do? Leave the story untold, Silvertown, going down in Silvertown, down in Silvertown, going down in Silvertown, down in Silvertown. So the dawn steals over the docks, a truck with no wheels up on cinder blocks, yeah, and with no dreams around a fire in a drum. Screw-up metal schemes are rusted over and done. Fight a bucket of gold with you. The story untold, Silvertown, down in Silvertown, down in Silvertown, going down in Silvertown. When you're standing on thin and dangerous ice, citizens advice. Tell you where you can turn, where you can go. There's nothing they can tell me I don't already know. Find a bucket of gold, silver, story untold, Silvertown. Train, I saw a gold line. There's a big silver plane rising up into the sky, and I could make out the words sound some 6-year-old bird about by JFK. I love you. Very sweet. There's gotta be a record of you someplace. You gotta be on somebody's books. They'll low down a picture of your face, your injured looks, sacred and profane, pleasure and the pain, yeah. Somewhere your fingerprints remain concrete, and it's your face I'm looking for on every street. Lady killer, regulation tattoo, silver spurs on his heels. Say, what can I tell you, as I'm standing next to you? He threw herself under my wheels. It's a dangerous road, and a hazardous load, and the fireworks of liberty explode in the heat. And it's your face I'm looking for on every street. Symphony crashes into space. The moon is hanging upside down. Don't know why it is, I'm still on the case. So there's a distance. You still refuse to be traced. Seems to me such a waste. And every victory has a taste that's bittersweet. It's your face I'm looking for on every street. After 2000 came 2001. To be the new champions we were there for two. From springtime in Arizona till the fall in Monterey. These were the battlefields, we fought them all the way. Was in Phoenix in the morning, I had a wake-up call. She went around without a warning, put me in the wall. I drove Long Beach, California with 3 cracked vertebrae. We went on Indianapolis, Indiana in May. Well, the brickyard said to crucify anyone who will not learn. And I climbed the mountains just to qualify. I went flat through the turn. But I was down in the mire bins and an old pal could has died. And I sat down in gasoline alley and I cried. Michigan, we were robbed at Bell. And I was on the Portland, Oregon for that G.I. Joe. And I blown off almost everyone when the border let go. New England, Ontario, we died in the dirt. Those walls from mid-Ohio to Toronto, they had hurt. We came to road America where we burned up at the lake. The Speedway at Nazareth.
guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Want it for nothing, your chicks for free. Yeah, now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't so dumb. Maybe get a blister on your finger. Maybe get a blister on your. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. We got to move the refrigerator. Got to move these color TVs. That little mother, he's got hearing, got the makeup on. I tell you, buddy, that's his own hell. That mother trucker, he's got his own jet airplane. Little mother trucker, he's a million. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. We got to move the refrigerator. Got to move these color TVs. I should have learned for to play on that guitar. I should have learned to go banging on them drums. That baby, she got it sticking in the camera. Yes, yes, yes. What's that now? Hawaiian noises, banging on them bongos. Japan, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing in the chicks. Got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing, and you money for nothing, man. The chicks for free. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free. You get the chicks. It's money for nothing.
These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me. But my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn two brave brothers in arms. Through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I witnessed you suffer as the battle raged higher. And though they did hurt me so, you did not deserve my brother. There's so many different worlds, so many different suns. We have just one life, but we live in different worlds. Sun's gone to hell, the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, but it's written in the starlight. Your palm, we're fools to make war on our brother and our. the 9 claws of the cat. Now I have a fever, but I give no thought to that. I am high over the water, I sleep and dream of land, free of chains of iron